Hey, and welcome to a human design reading for Sabrina, who is a 6'2" emotional projector. Sabrina, I'm so excited to get into this. If you are watching later on YouTube as well, welcome. We're going to learn a lot about the profile line 6'2", what it means to be a projector, how to wait for the invitation and what that means, and a couple of other things regarding how to making sense of your chart. So let's begin. I'm going to share my screen so that we can go along together. I really enjoy using my human design website. It's pretty and I can store a lot of charts on it. So I've gone and taken up your chart there. Other websites you can use that are really great are like Jovian Archive. So let's have a look. Okay, wonderful. So here we have, Sabrina, this is your chart. So a couple of things here. We're just going to go from the beginning. Projector. You are a projector. I am a projector. We are about 20% of the population, and we work a little bit differently than the majority of the population. The most, the biggest kind of difference that people like you and I have, projectors, is that we're what's called a non-sacral being, which means that this little part here, we do not have it defined, which means that we do not have a consistent flow of energy in that part of our body or that part of our energetic blueprint. What this actually means on a very tangible base is that we do not have access to consistent life force energy. Some people are like batteries. They'll go to bed and they kind of recharge while they're sleeping, and then they wake up the next day and they have a full battery. We're a little bit different. We get our energy to do things, like do the dishes and work. We get our energy in different ways. We don't have a consistent life force. So we can get it from what we call motor centers. One of your motor centers is the root center. So you have energy that is in the body, like inside the body. It is the energy of cortisol. And it is really like this pressure that you feel sometimes to just get things going. Like you're good at get things going. Let's do the thing. I feel pressure. I feel cortisol to do the thing. Other elements that some people experience when they have a defined root is like you sweat a lot because you have cortisol, or you find it really good to do daily activities that release cortisol and that release stress. So stress management becomes an important part of your habits. But that's the kind of an energy that pulls you forward. You also have, more of the projector. We're really here we are the consultants of life, right? And we're really here to see things in a different way. We pick up on patterns very well. We can see deeply into people and understand motivations or understand their emotions or what drives them, if they want to speak about what emotions they're feeling. We can really see that deeply inside of people, and we are here to guide energy. So because we can see these things deeply inside of people, we become very good at recognizing talents in other people, recognizing talents, right? We're very good at being like, hey, I can see that you have energy and you can see that you have this talent. I think it would be a really good idea if you focus and guide your energy on this specific task, right? We're very good at that. We're very good leaders in that sense. We're very good at managing a team. We're very good at seeing efficient ways to do things, understanding systems. Each projector is going to have, like every human, their unique talents. But like something that I can definitely say for you, because I'm looking at your chart and because I know you, was that you actually invited me to, you've seen gifts in me, like over years, you've seen gifts in me and said, oh, Sheridan's really good at this. And you've actually invited me to share that. That's such a projector thing. We are here to wait for an invitation to share our things, right? Which also means that we end up inviting other people, because that's how we understand the world. We say, hey, I saw that you're really good at this thing. Have you thought about sharing that? Have you thought about doing this thing? And you're really good at noticing that in people. When I say our strategy is being invited or waiting for the invitation, it doesn't mean that we are passively waiting and just twiddling our thumbs. It means that our knowledge, our insight, our wisdom, our opinions are best received when somebody recognizes us and then asks for our opinion or our insight. Because we see deeply and our aura is penetrative, it's kind of like a cone, kind of like sees deeply into one person. Because we see deeply into one person, and because we do see efficient, effective ways to do things, and we have opinions and we have wisdom, sometimes we may want to share that and give unsolicited advice that really isn't going to land very well because that person hasn't recognized us and invited our opinion into their life. So it's something important. It also means that, you know, when we're talking about, for example, when we're talking about like the online space, let's say, you know, you're an artist and you have an art that you would like to share. It's not necessarily like going and making like an ad funnel and like initiating a project and like go. Think of it more like, how can I create a platform or a stage where I can share my art, share my talents, and then invite ways or create ways for people to invite me to share with them, right? You can think of it like that. We can go into that deeper in another way if you're interested, but that's just something to begin. One thing that I will say that I really find interesting when I look at your chart is that you have this channel here, 6124, and I have this as well. And it is this channel of knowing, just knowing things and not really knowing why you know them, not understanding logically why that the thing is that makes sense, but just knowing something deeply. So see if you can lean into that. Like, can you allow yourself to just know things and not ask why? Just allow yourself to know it. Your authority. So the way that you make decisions, is an emotional authority. Over here, this little triangle is your solar plexus, and it is the center of the emotions. It is defined, meaning you have consistent energy there. What this translates is that you have what we call an energetic wave, right? So an emotional wave. So your emotions inside of your body, they go like this. They go up and down, up and down. And sometimes you feel really great emotionally. You're like, yeah, I'm so happy. And sometimes you don't feel great emotionally. You're like, oh, I'm just really not feeling good today, right? That just happens. It's a part of your genetic imprint. It's a part of your energetic imprint as well. It's in your genes. You ride emotions. You are a source of emotions. There is a motor of emotions inside of your body. So you're going to feel waves of emotions. A lot of our work in this is learning how to be with these emotions, learning how to manage these emotions, understand them, make sense of them, and really master our emotions. And that is how you best make decisions. So really the mantra for emotional authorities, such as myself and you, is that there is no truth in the moment. There is no truth in the moment. You want to really give yourself time to ride out your emotional wave when you are making a decision. A good thing that you can start putting into practice now is not to say yes to anything without thinking about it for 3 days. Obviously, there are nuances to this advice. You know, if somebody's asking you out for dinner tonight and you're like, yeah, I want to go out for dinner. But if you're being invited into something that is going to require consistent energy output, or it's kind of a bigger decision, wait, you know, at least 3 days so that you can move through your emotional wave. Each person's emotional wave is different. And depending on how aligned you're feeling in your life, it's going to last for different periods of time. I think that we want to be effective. We want to learn to be effective with our emotional wave. We want to learn to manage our emotions, understand them, manage any stress, manage our thoughts. And the more that you do things that are in alignment, the less kind of volatile or chaotic your emotional wave will be. Yeah, right now, and I think it's important to say, is that right now, you are in a part of your life, and this will continue until the end of your Saturn return, where you're living life as really this trial and error, right? You're kind of trying on different things, figuring out, learning from it, moving to the next. You're really kind of trying things out. This is part of your personality. It's part of what you're here to do and how you're meant to learn during the first 30 or so years of your life. The reason I say this is because you are a 6-2, which is the exemplary human. Think of this as your personality. And there are two lines to it. There are line 6 and then there is line 2. And this is essentially how we navigate the world. Line 6 has 3 distinct phases of your life. This is up until the end of your Saturn return, where you're living life as what we call a line 3. You're really like getting in there and figuring things out. You want to try things out. You want to learn. You make a mistake. It can feel a little bit negative. It might feel like nothing is ever really going right, but you're just like going in and learning and getting messy. Sometimes it feels negative. Sometimes it doesn't. Depends on your experience. But you're just going in. You're just experiencing life and learning. And then after your Saturn return, you do something which is you kind of become a role model. Not that you're not already a role model, you won't be, but you become more of a role model. People start seeing you as kind of this role model and you become a little bit detached. You're kind of like, we call it on the roof. It's kind of like you're sitting on the roof and you're just kind of observing society like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, they're doing that. Interesting. You become a little bit more withdrawn. You observe and you learn more about yourself and you kind of observe society. And it's just this little phase. And then around about 40 or 50, or when your Chiron return happens, you step off the roof and you want to become a little bit more integrated in society. You want to, people are really still seeing you as this role model and this wisdom, this source of wisdom, but you feel a little bit more of a natural urge to get more involved in society and really share the wisdom that you have accumulated over your life period, which is a lot, right? You're a line 6. They tend to be really, really wise. Not that other personality types aren't, but there's a natural wisdom that the line 6 carries. And especially when we're combining that with you just knowing things because you know them, you become really wise. You become a deep seer as well as a projector. Line 2, so we have line 2 here in your profile, is that this is a natural, we call it the hermit line. And there are 2 aspects to this, is that one, your body really does well when you spend time alone. And you tend to be drawn to spending time alone and really trusting that you can really trust that when it's time for you to kind of come out, the people around you will kind of start looking for you and be like, hey, like, are you coming out? Like, I haven't heard from you in a while. Like, what are you doing? But it's really nourishing for you to spend uninterrupted time alone. The other part of this is that the line 2 has an amazing gift for something that you probably don't even realize that you're really good at it. You're just really good at something. It always has this like genius inside. You're really good at something. And you probably don't really know what that is. Maybe you do know what that is, but it's something that you don't have to study, that you don't have to learn. In fact, if you were like, okay, I'm going to get a certificate in this thing, that may even become a little bit frustrating for you because you were just already good at it. You don't need to know like the system and the why and the things. So allow yourself to be curious with what that is and lean into the things that you're good at, just because you may feel sometimes like you should have learned about them in a certain way. That's not necessarily true. Allow yourself to lean into your innate gifts and just showcase them. I think this is probably enough. I could go so much deeper into this, and please ask me any specific questions. I'm a projector. Invite me to do things. Invite me to share my wisdom. I will do it with so much love. But yes, I hope this was helpful.